Hi, this is Matt from WEEKNZ RV Rental in Sonoma, California, and in this video I am going to show you how to empty the black water and gray water tanks. First, let me give you a little lesson about how this works. In most RVs there is both a black water tank and a gray water tank. Now, a black water tank holds everything that goes from the toilet, okay? The gray water tanks are every drain that comes from the shower or the sink or other places as well, but typically it's just the showers and the sinks, the bathroom sink and the kitchen sink, okay? They both go into separate tanks, and then both of those tanks need to be emptied, okay? So when it's time to leave, or when the tank's full and you're ready to empty the tank, this is the procedure you do. A couple of things you're going to notice on this Jayco Greyhawk RV is a sewer hose door. I don't use it, it's not long enough. And a low point drain. The low point drain is only if you're going to winterize the vehicle and try to get all the water out of it. So ignore the sewer hose and ignore the lower point drain. You'll never need to use it. So every black water, gray water setup on every RV is usually just a little bit different. On this particular model, this is a Jayco Greyhawk 25DS, and I've made a few custom modifications to it, including making the black water more accessible, the handle. This over here is your gray water handle. So this attaches to a valve that attaches to the gray water tank, and then this valve attaches to the black water tank, okay? Easy way to remember, gray water handles gray, black water handles black, okay? So first thing we need to do is make sure these are closed. When you set up camp, here's what you want to do. First thing you want to do is, after you set up the water and electricity, you want to attach the sewer hose. Why? Because you want to be able to let the gray water coming from the showers and the sinks to be able to pass straight through to the sewer opening at the RV park, but not the black water, and I'll explain why in a minute. So what you want to do is, I tend to put on latex gloves and then rubber gloves. This green box that holds the sewer line is in the storage compartment on the side of the RV. I have little lids. Take these things off. So then this part is going to attach here. So I take this off. This, by the way, has to be on by California law, so make sure that stays on when you're driving. Then this attaches here. Okay, and you just twist it until those points line up. That's it. Now it's locked into place. It has a rubber seal. It isn't going to go anywhere. Then this part will go to the sewer line at the RV park or at the dump station. Now when you're at the RV park, you can probably see something similar to this. It's the sewer line. You just unscrew it, remove that. And then this is an attachment that screws in. Now they come in all different sizes, these sewer holes, so you'll see 3 different levels here. So ideally one of them is going to fit. Now sometimes there won't be any screws, sometimes it'll just be a hole in the ground, so you just got to do the best you can to get it in there. So you attach, first you would screw this in, like so, then you'd fit this on top. Alright, so screws in like that. This is what you want. If it's not screwed in, there's a chance it might kick up when you let out the sewage, and you do not want that to happen. It'll shoot everywhere. Sometimes if there isn't a place to screw in, you'll see a rock or a pylon or something heavy that you can sit on top to make sure it doesn't kick up when you're doing it. So best case scenario, screw it in. Worst case scenario, put a heavy rock or a pylon or something on top to make sure it doesn't kick up. Okay, so now it's set up. There's one other thing you need to do. I'll be right back. This guy, the sewer Slinky, I call it. It has lots of different names. I like to call it the sewer Slinky. The job of this is to make sure that the hose is always going downhill toward the sewer. Okay, so let me show you how to put that on. Okay, once you have the hose attached to both ends, it's time to put the sewer Slinky on. This sewer Slinky has 2 purposes. One, it keeps the sewer line off the ground, and the other is that it allows the sewage water to roll downhill. You always want it going downhill from the RV to the sewage. Some RV parks require this, so you want to make sure you have one. We always want to keep one on board of our RV. So pretty easy to set up, put underneath, and then just start extending it out. A little bit of time. Adjustable, take it to here. Then that's close enough. You may never get that last part where it goes uphill to go back in, but this is good enough for an RV park. That is the sewer Slinky. Once you have both ends of the sewer line connected and you have the Slinky on, it's time to empty the tanks. Now, the first tank you want to empty is the black water tank, but you want to make sure it's at least 3/4 full before you empty it. And you can tell by using the tank monitor inside the RV. I showed you in a previous video. Now, if it's not 3/4 full, all you need to do is just run water down the toilet until it's 3/4 full. But it's really important that it's at least 3/4 full because it needs that pressure to push out all of the matter in the tank, okay? So what you can do is have somebody look at the monitor, tank monitor inside, somebody else putting water in the tank and saying, okay, 3/4, we're good. Once it's 3/4, it's time to pull the handle, okay? So once you pull the handle, all of the sewage is going to come start rushing out. You'll hear it. It'll make a lot of noise, and it will start running over there, which is why you really want to make sure that's screwed in well or has weight on top of it because you don't want it kicked up, okay? After the sewage has run out, and then you want to do the gray water. You always want to do the black water first, then the gray water. Why? Because you want the gray water to push all of the black water out. So the next, come over here, pull this out, pull the gray. Gray is going to drain as well. Okay? What happens is both tanks, the pipes from both tanks come into one tank that come into this fitting here. So this fitting here empties both the gray and the black water tank. Once you've emptied both tanks, go ahead, close the gray water tank, but you still have something left to do. You want to flush out the water in the black water tank. And you'll see this opening here. It says sewer tank flusher. This, you connect a hose to this, and what it will do is water will shoot into the black water tank and help push everything else out. Now, it works on combination with having a 3/4 full tank. So you really want to get everything out of there. So follow me over here. This is connected on the other end to a spigot. Some RV parks, you'll use the same spigot. Some will have a separate spigot for black water, okay? But this hose, this particular hose on this RV, this white one, is only for black water. You don't want to mix up hoses. Okay, now that it's attached, I'm going to turn on the spigot and make sure this stays open. And what it's going to do is flush water into the black water tank, down through the sewer line, into the sewer. Now you can hear it going into the tank. Now with the Jayco Greyhawk that we rent, it comes with this super fancy sewer hose that has a clear right angle to it, so you can see the water going into the sewer. And this will give you an indication of when you're done. If it's throwing clear water, then you're good to go. Okay, after both tanks are fully empty, make sure both valves are closed. Okay, remove the hose. Make sure you turn it off first so you get water all over yourself. Do not put this away yet, you're going to need it. Okay? Now remove sewer hose. Comes off like that. And what you're going to want to do is, you're going to want to run some fresh water down here to make sure you got all of the sewage out of the line. If you don't, and you leave some sewage in there, you're going to put it back in the box, put the box underneath the RV, and you're going to go, what's that smell? The smell is because you didn't rinse all the sewage out of this. So, coming over here, turn the water on. Turn the sewage down. Okay, that's enough. One. Turn off the sewer line. Then there's still going to be water in this hose, so you want to walk it up and make sure you walk all that water out. You can see it going out there, right there. Okay, that's dry. And then all you need to do, remove this, keep it separate. Put the covers back on this. This helps keep any thing you miss, keeps the odor out. One on that side. One on this side. And you want to collapse everything up. Put it in the bucket. There you go. That's it. Put the Slinky back. Slinky attachment goes like this. Match up the angle to the Slinky. Then it goes on the bottom like so. Got a handy little holder there. Okay? Both these go back in the RV on the side. And always be sure, the last thing you want to do is put this lid back on. Make sure it's nice and snug. Nice and tight. Don't want that coming off. Okay, that's it. You have successfully emptied both the gray water and the black water tanks. Thanks for watching.